This is a review of the Bolse M2 10,000 milliampere hour dual port external battery pack. Inside the box you'll find the Bolse battery itself. It's a 10,000 milliampere battery pack, which is quite powerful. You'll find three connectors, one for an Apple, a 30 pin, a mini USB, and a Nokia adapter. You'll also find a charging cable that's a USB on one end and the other end is a micro USB. So you can charge Android style devices with this. You'll also find a brief instruction manual and a nice velour carrying bag to either carry the accessories in, or frankly I would carry the battery in it. The battery pack weighs in at 8 1/4 ounces. It's a little bit larger than some people would buy for their phones, but I can tell you it packs quite a charge. The cable is 24 inches long, which can be used to charge the battery pack or be used to charge your devices with. In addition, if your connector is not here, you can also use the cable and connector that came with your original device. The battery pack is made with Samsung Grade A cells. They're high quality lithium ion cells, and they can be recharged over 500 plus times. I wanted to give you a comparison. The battery pack's a little bit longer and a little bit wider than an iPhone 4. It's probably about the length of an iPhone 5. You can see that the battery is designed to match almost the exact styling of an iPhone. Here you can see the difference in the thickness. This is thicker because it contains 18650 lithium ion batteries, which are quite powerful. On the front's a push button. You can use this to press and start the charging when you want to charge your device that's plugged in. If you press it twice, you will see the display pop up. It says 99%. It has a nice digital display to give you the capacity of the battery. When the battery's charging the device, that display will also show up, so you can always check and see how much capacity is remaining. I like the fact that it's a digital display. You don't have to count LEDs and remember how many percent is each LED. The digital display is very nice. There are three ports on the end of the battery pack. The first one here you see is an output of 5 volts and 1 amp. This is ideal for charging your smartphones. The one on the other side, the large one, is a USB port with 5 volts and 2 amps, and this is designed to charge your tablets and high-power devices. The small mini USB in the middle is the charging port, where you would input 5 volts. The input current in the manual is 5 volts DC at 1 amp. You can charge it with a higher capacity AC wall charger, for example. In my case, we charge everything with a 2.1 amp wall charger because it charges twice as fast. The maximum output of both these outside ports combined cannot exceed 3 amps. The charging time using a 1 amp power supply in the middle here is 10 to 13 hours. If you were to take this same battery and attach it to your USB 2.0 port of your computer, you can essentially double that to between 20 and 26 hours. So this is why it recommends at least a 1 amp. And if you use a 2.1 amp charger, you can cut it in half somewhere around 6 hours. Here you can see I have an iPhone 4 plugged into the battery pack with the cable. When I do my testing, I always use the cables that come with the device to make sure they're good enough quality and that they work. In this case, I've got the cable plugged into the Apple 30 pin connector. You can see the iPhone is not charging. I'm going to press the button one time. You heard the phone chirp and the lightning bolt come on. The battery is now charging, and you can see this blue LED here flashing. That's an activity light to mean that the battery is working. If I want, I can press it again, and it will show me the percentage of capacity that's in the battery. Like I said before, I really like that feature. After you receive the battery, it's always suggested that you charge it fully before you use it. They actually recommend using an AC wall charger, which I endorse a lot. You've got a lot of them in your home. They come with your iPhones, they come with your tablets, so you've got one there. And like I said, I prefer a 2 or 2.1 amp AC wall source. It also recommends that you charge this battery about every 4 months if you're not using it. This is just to keep it activated and make sure it doesn't take a set. Battery pack comes with a 1-year warranty. This battery performed very well in our test. We took an iPad 2 that was at 0% and charged it overnight. And then the next morning we got up and the battery here was still at 44%. We then charged an iPhone 4 from 83 to 100%. And then we charged a second iPhone 4 from 82 to 100%. Drawing out of this battery we got 7,441 milliampere hours, which if you divide that by 10,000 is 74.4%, which is an excellent result. That's enough capacity that you could take this battery and charge your iPhone 5.25 times. Here you can see my results summary, where I was able to get 7,441 milliampere hours out of this battery, which represented 74.4% of its rated capacity. I leave this table in all my reviews because here you can see the charging requirements of some common devices. This will give you some idea what size battery you may want to buy depending on what type of device you're trying to charge. Based on my testing, you can charge an iPhone 4 or 5 approximately 5.25 full charges out of a fully charged battery pack. An iPad 2 107%, an iPad 3 or 4 64%, an iPad mini 166%, and a Kindle Fire approximately 169%. This is an excellent battery pack and I recommend it to you. I like this battery pack a lot. It's very stylish. It looks like an iPhone. It's a perfect partner for it or your iPads. I like the fact that it has enough capacity to charge your iPhone over 5 times or completely charge an iPad 2. I love the fact that it comes with a velour carrying case. I believe that if you're going to carry something like this in a backpack or a travel bag or your purse, you put it in a case just to keep things from getting stuck in the ports on the end. If you travel, if you work long hours, if you're at school, and you want to make sure your devices are charged, this is an excellent product. I'll give you a little story. My niece just got back from a cruise. When they got there, they could use their phones while they were in port, but after a few days their phones were dead, and they couldn't charge their phones in their ship room because it didn't have the right voltages and their chargers wouldn't work. They finally found charger stations located on the ship, but they also found lines of 20, 30, 40 people waiting in line to charge their phones. Of course, nobody would leave their phone, so they didn't want to spend the time. They had taken with them a battery pack, and they were able to charge their phones in their own room, and they loved it. This just shows how important having this type of power supply with you can be helpful. I rate this battery pack as a 5-star item. It had excellent results, and it's beautiful. This review was done by JJ CEO. I'd like to tell you that I received a sample for test and evaluation, and I promise to provide a fair and honest review.